them starting out here on the attack, I think is good for them in that regard because they get to choose where to fight. They get to choose this B main exec. And I'm excited to see once again the Shondex Retro Chamber rivalry.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see how that plays out as well. To kind of follow up off of the German point, though, Zobi, do you think the Waylay will be the difference maker? And this is partially rhetorical, too. The chat analyst desk, the Valorant gods can all think about this. Can this be that apex factor to bring SAD to that 2-1 mark?
Considering he was 26-20 in that 30-round game, I think there is some merit to that. But I also think them starting on the defense doesn't bode well for it either. They did start on the defense in the SRG game, but I feel like the Waylay's so powerful on, yeah, you're diving in, you're refracting away and getting them in info and that early fight. But speaking of early fights, ready to challenge off that refractor early in the B-main, and they find the first kill. How poetic.
All right, well, guess what? Gerwin so far proving everybody right, looking like, wow, okay, well, it was a good start. I'll give him that. Practo, though, off of the fragment nade was a really good way of... you know what? Yes. The duelists did their job. They took the duel and they dueled it out and won the duel, and then lost it.
True. And then won it. So back to its 3-on-3.
Defensively speaking, Gerwin doesn't need to push in anywhere, so he did his job.
Exactly. Now, speaking of doing their jobs, Retro got a kill over towards the A site, but do you notice how slow Burger Boy's in the spike that's on the hip of Tillo rotating over? And that leaves some gaps, that leaves some time. You saw Bao trying to re-clear elbow, trying to get tabs on exactly where Retro could be, but he's all the way through Crane, and I'm expecting as soon as knife comes back up that Practo's gonna knife, try and keep control here towards B, but because he outpaces it, because he falls there, now it feels like 30 seconds, your player's on opposite sides of the map, and you're having to re-clear all of A. This is not looking good.
Oh man, yeah, I'm not liking this, Zobi. It was really contingent on Retro not only not encountering anybody, but taking that surprise fight.
No.
Practo, the same exact cause, was trying to bait with the knife. That didn't work. And so Tillo has no choice but to plant.
If I'm sad, I'm shocked, I think, by this A-side plant, right? Tillo just took ages to get over there. Partially attributed to, I'd say, corrode design, but also just a choice to cut noise. Speaking of choices, this aggro play, I love it.
Okay, that's a good start, Tillo. I saw the vision, almost got a second. But still, all things considered, only having 2 bodies left alive, Zobi, not the worst Burger Boy start.
Yeah, I'll say. But SAD definitely, I feel like, have had better starts now on Ascent than we saw over on Lotus, so I think that's helping here. Bao as well, I got flashbacks with that Sheriff shot to his clutch over on Lotus, so maybe he's heating up, and that's also a layer that we didn't touch upon, is how his lurks are going to go with this double controller. That's, again, different from the double initiator play over on the opposing side, but all in all, SAD, again, they kind of checked all the boxes here. They didn't over-rotate. They didn't really gamble too heavily. Bao had some good re-clears, and it was more mistakes that Burger Boys made, because they even punished, right? Retro had a beautiful opener on A, and if Tillo hightailed it over, they would have had a really good post. So let's see if they can patch that hole up here, if it's just going to be the outlaw Shondex menace, and he can't TP away.
No, Shondex is forced to tuck tail and run away. He cannot take that 5, but the relay bow immediately spots out where he was at. The smoke just barely saves his life. A spray does not connect. Shondex nearly made it out of dodge, but he's unlucky to be hit with the tail end of a stinger spray. It is all-out war in an A site. Anywhere you go, bullets are colliding against skulls. And with the spike going down, Welly, equipped with an Odin.
Second round?
Yes, sure, man. Why not, right? And makes it work. A good investment.
Yeah, he usually has that in the 3rd round, and you're going to recover the most expensive weapons, right? The Outlaw, which is just tag-teamed, right? Shondex starts with it, you hand it off to Jerwin, now Bao ends with it, carrying it forward. That was an insane round that could have gone very poorly, but SAD relit back near immediately because they took those team fights, because Burger Boys maybe overfought a little bit there into mid-link, but all in all, I think what we saw on full display, and I'm going to pull this from Starbound, again, the Chamber Extraordinaire interview in GC. There is a very stark learning curve as a Chamber to playing against a KO, right? It's uncharacteristic on this map, I'll say, and on other maps as well, like Bind, I think is when I talked to Starbound about it. And I think once Shondex knows how to play around that and the suppression, he's going to be unleashed. But that, he just got full stop caught out by it and couldn't get out. So, again, utilizing his composition well on the side of Burger Boys to highlight the differences again, and now we're even getting our first taste of that mid-fight, and who's going to have a better one at that?
Oh, Practo! It's good to remove Welly. Scan initiation now completely gone from SAD's end. That's going to remove a lot of cases to play aggressively. You're not going to have that safety space of knowing where Burger Boys will be.
It's a huge, huge kill. No re-clear utility either left over, except for you can consider the Jarwin Refract maybe if it comes back online. But time being, I like the creep up B, but it's in exchange for, you can see them pushing up to the bare end of that toxic screen. They know when North's bottom mid anymore. Jarwin might just get here in time because of the hinder too.
Oh, there we go. Bao through the wall is able to remove Bonnie. Enterability is now completely gone, though Jerwin's there for the trade. Then maybe the loss of the Odin, but still plenty of bodies to spare. Just a matter now of using the weapons to your advantage. And Nanners does that. Jerwin falls, and it's going to leave now just a Stinger and a classic, Headhunters for Shondex to hope for the best. But there's 24 seconds left. Shondex is top of heaven. It's a matter of finding where Styles at. He makes himself known. All the while, a distraction as Shondex does remove Nanners away. Practo is meant to be that hard counter against the chamber. The knife is finally back out again. He could get rid of the Headhunter, and he has every opportunity of doing so. But no, it's a jump off the banister. Practo brings out the knife. Classic v classic. And will it win? No, the Vandal pops out of nowhere like a magic trick, and Sad brings it to 3.
Shondex, I feel like that's just perfect parallel that it's him against the KO in the 1v1 clutch. And after he jumped down, he's got that Vandal like you mentioned, and that made the difference. Out of Guardian Bullets, not confident in the last 2 remaining in the chamber. And what a round to win for Sad. And that's the sports the agenda that Liz brought up on the desk that I believed in coming into this and was shown yesterday in that Prosperity match, is that they can snowball once they get momentum. They can completely dominate on picks that feel like they favored the opposition. And right now with 3-0 on the board, very different from what we saw over the previous 2 maps. And I think they set themselves up well. I mean, they have Outlaw, they have Op, and they have Odin. The complete eco-denial tool with paper-thin walls on Corrode, and I expected it in full display.
It's like an elevated ascent comp.
It's every team's worst nightmare, gridlock, right? If you keep it online.
Oh, no.
That's a little...
Well,
that's
okay.
a little too proactive.
Yeah, and that's been a common criticism I think you've had for both these teams so far, is that we're seeing a little over-aggressive fights a lot of the time in these early parts of the round. But then again, though, Burger Boys, they were the main point of the criticism early on. They've been able to turn it around and make it work. Welly and Bao are the last 2 alive. They have that Odin. Shondex has lost the Operator. This is going to be the big tool needed to bring it back. Now, can we force out the Nightfall? Probably not, but that would be a big dub if you can, if there's any pressure applied. Tillo would rather fall instead, and that's obviously the best case scenario. Nanners is good for 3, and it leaves Welly to be the last one left. A spray through the wall. Bonnie's at 1 HP. Had there been a chance, it could have been Welly to remove Practo, but Burger Boys finally have a point on the board.
Oh, that was a rough round. That is not one they should have been losing. We mentioned the gridlock nature of their bye. But that composition is, again, not meant to get aggressive, not meant to contact up like what we saw from Style getting caught out main. Very different from how we saw him very procedurally aware and clearing these players. Again, it's more meant to be reactive with that Operator, with that Odin, with that Outlaw. And the fact that they had to then play this disadvantaged retake, just sheerly overwhelmed by that A-split. A little jarring, I think that's why they've switched things up. Trademark on elbow, a fight into A main off the dark cover. This is a nice adaptation. Really quick from Sad.
Retro has that op too. Cannot find any point now until that smoke falls. Shondex might be able to strafe with the Headhunter, but Jerwin should take first contact.
I love this. It's a bait, right? That's the entire idea, is hopefully Retro doesn't clear this corner while he's very trained on it for the time being. Or maybe while he's too focused on Shondex, if he caught away for the barrel, Jerwin can get a really nice peek out.
Oh, but good. Actually, a big point. Prowler in mid, knife is gone. There's no re-clearing tools to take out Shondex's position.
I don't know if I think that TP is in proximity as well, so he can get away if they decide to spray through. If they decide to re-prowl or Haunt did come back online here for the side of Burger Boys. I expect that to be utilized.
Patience. Name of the game here.
They're not going to
Face your fear!
Tunnel vision directly on A main. Nightfall is out. Jerwin knows that he can take the bait. That's 1. That's Shondex for 1. Removes away the fade. Jerwin can get out just in time, but he's suppressed. He cannot go far. That's going to be another Will it be enough? The answer is yes! A massacre from Sad!
Wow. And I mean, you take how they were able to get hinders off on the choke points, be it Link, be it B main, to a whole other level with that converging pass from Jarwin when he should have been immediately traded out when that Nightfall comes, when Shondex isn't able to rendezvous out and gets traded by Practo. That was just... They're linked. They're locked right now. Like the util combos right now off of Jerwin. I mean, he's fragging #1, which was my ask, but his support utility to enable his team to allow them just to rotate in time across the map that takes a while for the defenders is standout. And Burger Boys highlighted mid-fight, something to work on from over on Ascent. They're challenging it yet again. Found the first blood prior. The ground's like where they caught Welly off in window. The time being here, and you see the immediate response from Sad to back up a little bit over towards Yard, just have the jiggle from Welly for info over towards Elbow. It's very inconsequential positions where they don't have to take risks. And as I say that, of course, they're going to try and go for the cross, make a risk here for Jerwin. But that's Utilist. He can be the one to take the risks.
I would sure hope so. Bonnie's chance now to prove the Neon versus Waylay debate on Corrode can go in their favor. Certainly does not go that way. Biggest criticism we had back on map 1 for Sad was the lack of utility cohesion, and my god, has that changed. Looking good for Jerwin now, shutting down Nanners. Smokes are gone, your entry is gone as well. You're down to your bare skeleton crew. Retro's attempting to make some distance inside of mid, and he may be good to get rid of Bao.
30 seconds left.
But that would be the only way to open up this back line.
But that's exactly why Bao isn't playing to hold the line. He's just playing for information, right? They weren't playing window. They weren't playing very forward. They're kind of letting, with a loose lead, Burger Boys go where they want, but then they have an immediate counter, like this Bao Viper's Pit.
Oh, no. That could be a recipe for disaster. Up above, though, Shondex is not willing to jump down to save his teammate. That Bao in the pit gone. 5 seconds, though. No chance of a trade. Jerwin, though, shuts down Practo, and it's a good way to start your way back in a perfect snipe. Tillo is removed. Retro has to play it safe. But where can you go except get a 3K? Take the fight directly to the chamber. 13 HP. Oh, a snipe through the smoke! But can't get a second. Attack? Another? No, it's an Odin and ace for Retro!
Here.
Let that sink in for a minute, Keg. The ace clutch after Burger Boys do a really good job piecing apart the Bao Viper's Pit with the Fade Util with the Odin spray down. And then they start throwing it away. They start, again, just taking ones that they shouldn't, right? Tillo picking the up heaven. The Practo, like we see fighting there into back halls. Those should not be happening. And Retro just bench presses his team through that round into a second. A beautiful ace to get Burger Boys their second, to keep things close so that Sad doesn't run away with things. And now, Shondex says, I gotta step up. I'm the other chamber in the server. I'm the true one here. And I'm gonna prove it with an opening kill over towards mid.
And we've seen how hard Burger Boys get shut down when they don't have those smokes to take off those backline angles.
Okay. Money off that clutch from Retro disrupted. So little duos, little group ups. Bao in the riskiest position here, very forward on info, but likely not to win that head-to-head up against Retro weapon-wise. Look at this again, Burger Boys copy-pasting the weakness they identified last time with this added caveat of the main control. It's easy to challenge and get this site.
I mean, the weaponry is going to be a huge advantage now. Body disadvantage, weapon disadvantage, certainly no ults to work with here outside of style, but not worth using. Dying to the spike doesn't seem like a bad option. You do not want to feed the ult economy of Burger Boys with this kind of composition.
Ooh, I like this. Jerwin going bottom mid to get a weapon. He's the one 2 off from an ult that could have made a difference with the converging paths, but Retro realizing, hey, we left a gun down, I'm going to re-clear that. Well, my team's got it on the site. Evidence being Bonnie on the style. Welly, Haunted, they know he's playing towards this spawn. Re-clear comes through as well. Trying to take what he can get, and I'm not sure if they're gonna give him anything. Oh, they do.
Okay, consolation prize. Make that 2 over. Die to the spike. Honestly, yeah, a pretty nice dub overall for for Sad in the killing department. It's not going to be enough to convert around. Burger Boys are only one off.
And this is where, again, that responsibility falls to Sad. I mentioned adjustments on Lotus Ascent, slow to come, but once they hit hard. And we saw a really early adjustment out of Sad over towards A main that made sense and won them the round. I'm asking for that again towards mid. Burger Boys now 2 rounds in a row have benefited and converted off of that deep window control. So I need to see a committed fight with this buy out of Sad, and that's exactly what they're doing. Jerwin, Welly, walking down off that haunt, this is going to set the tone for this round, and if it goes Sad's favor.
Oh, big aggressive smoke down mid. It's going to make things pretty difficult for Burger Boys to take that early control. Jerwin already made his presence known, backs away, uses style as bait, and we know how big the macro brain could be for this man.
I don't want Sad to back down here, though. They have to keep fighting, weathering the rainstorm of Odin bullets from Pillow as you may.
I can't imagine they do. They got to keep cycling the smokes and make sure Burger Boy have to push a very disadvantageous lane.
I think they need it, though. And in the meantime, the recoil over towards B is more just to bait them into Shondex's operator here. So I do like this as well. And they fall off just ever so slightly early. Style going to be holding down the mid line, but Regroup A is miscalled. This is just blind faith in Shondex, and sometimes that's well placed. Let's see.
The jump was heard. Remember, the only set of flashes is nowhere nearby, but now finally the KO was caught up. There it is, flash number 1.
TP?
Hello?
Hello?
Shondex?
Late TP?
Sure, man.
30 seconds left.
Welly makes up for it.
Spike planted.
But even then, a very interesting way of getting on the B site. Plant goes down. Big question marks all over. Sad, unfortunately, the victim of Nanners. And Jerwin cannot find a way back in. He's got to rely on his teammates and having to open things up, or perhaps not. That's Pillow again to take an aggressive fight. Not the first time we've seen that in the post plan on B site. And through it all, Sad are making it work. 1v1 after 1v1 after another.
Really, really nice there. And part of that comes off of the early mid control, so then you have, again, simplified. You don't have to clear as much space. You can dedicate that converging path to the site. Second, I think, was the time advantage that they had. The From the Shadows comes through for Style. He's immediately there side by side with Welly, so they can fight back in. Yeah, Shondex gets cut off in the early round. That gives them the advantage. Beautiful time to replay. But then they just play the retake game their own way. And it was really, really well done there. Jerwin just slices the pie, wins his engagements, and that's why I put him on that pedestal as well. Is those are the fights he has to be winning mechanically. And he is now on lock, 9-7, topping the leaderboard, trying to best his 26-20 against SRG. They got that adjustment and they're keeping it, right? It's not Style this time, but it is Shondex the operator. It's just like switching up where it's playing around. And it's just gonna allow you to rotate a lot more confidently here. And with a heavy A lean like this, a beautiful C's combo, you might have to do it sooner rather than later, Keg.
Oh, yep, there it is. There it is. Overdrive in play. Style's not long for this world. There's really not much you can do when there's a litany of everything being thrown against you at once. Jerwin waiting for the fragment nade to have a post swing after it. Does not exist. Good timing here, though. Unfortunately, Retro was sooner rather than later.
Okay. Retro.
Spike planted.
On for a 4K proceeding. There's Ace. High-low here. They just read it like a book. That they were going to have to re-swing, right, in a disadvantaged situation. Very well done there, and Burger Boys keep us again within 1. So, alright. What does Sad do? I don't think they need to change anything big picture-wise. It's maybe just, okay, they like to rerun that because it worked after they had a string of losses. Maybe we just fight A main. Post the operator up, you know, maybe get Welly ready with a Nightfall. There's a lot of options for how to counter this. It's just, to me, a write-off of, okay, that's a one-time thing. It might not be consistent. Once it gets consistent, then I think you address it. But otherwise, they're keeping the big picture change that I mentioned prior of, okay, mid control, which is what Crud has boiled down to, quite frankly. And to come off of Jerwin, running it down, knife out alongside Shondex. Are they going to challenge all the way through?
They very well might.
Huge soul read, and I think they have it correct if Shondex keeps going behind them on B.
Shondex.
You have no
Looking
trips.
for this late game pinch. It's the Nightfall to come by. Bow's in a position to open things up, but Prakto's there ahead of the turn. And Shondex all the same. You don't need a trip. Shondex, no!
The trigger doesn't like his style too.
Oh no! That could have gone a lot worse.
It's a
Style
flashback
was
to
there.
a century.
Oh, good lord. This has, you know what, to quote Liz, to quote Shakespeare, it has been a comedy of errors. I graduated public school finally, and we get to see if Jerwin, though, can solidify things and bring back a 3v2. It's going to be up to Jerwin to see. Everyone's hidden away. Burger Boys waiting. Crossfire abound directly onto the spike. B-main still uncovered. That's going to B1. Retro. He gets 2.
Wow, I mean, A is 3K after 3K. Retro is locked and has pushed Burger Boys up to the 5-5. And honestly, that round from Sad's perspective, so unfortunate. Like, that was beautifully set up, right? If they had just cleared that corner. I mean, if you notice the extra nuances, like, yeah, the Nightfall is supposed to help the choke, supposed to slow down the exit, but it's supposed to deafen the players so you don't hear the flank coming. And of all the players, right, they recognize, hey, our trapwire, our trademark, right, is over towards A. So we need a player to stay off site, and that's exactly what we saw Dilla do. So huge round there to deny from Sad. I like the setup. We've seen it before. Just bait and switch for either Jerwin or Shondex to take the engagement and win in a catastrophic fashion. But they have an added layer. Style ready with a paranoia. This is going to be good. Or bad, really quick.
Oh, here we go. Get our lungs ready. Retro's good for 1. That's Welly gone. Scan initiation no longer necessary. That opening fight was not on A main like you would think. That was directly in mid. And the wall was up, so we don't see that secondary fight. Instead, it is a bloodbath outside of A. A resurrection for the robot is back. Practo's there for the return. Bao was good for 2. And Retro, who started in mid, is the sole survivor in the server.
I don't know, around hurts more. The one prior or that round we just witnessed. Because again, at the macro level, that was played perfectly after they honestly were about to get outplayed with that no command investment, right? I mentioned this whole trap they have set up with the refract from Jerwin, with the paranoia from Style. All that gets stripped away, and they still somehow set up a beautiful timing off this fast lane to have a crunch between Jerwin and Shondex. And again, FPS at the end of the day, Shondex just loses out those shots to the Guardian, neither connecting. And that's what determines the round, unfortunately. Shondex is going to be kicking himself for that one. Bao had a great attempt to convert. It just goes south, and Burger Boys with the 6 are feeling the confidence, feeling the momentum, and it is showing. Quick up they got towards mid.
Turbo's utility, unfortunately, is dissipated away, and so is the life of Shondex. Burger Boys, that confidence has returned. They've been good to take these fights. The only thing in their way for gunfights has been Bao. Consistently a demon on this defense, a 3rd given to him. And now with 1 left, what do you do if you're Retro? He just got an ace not too long ago in the same spot. Bao brings out the pit. It's the last round and sprays down Retro. 6-6 yet again.
Switching sides.
I mean, Trias I was going to a map 3. Didn't know if map 3 itself was going to be this close, though. 6-6 after, again, replicating it over on Ascent. Bao, I'm so glad to see that out of. That is stacked around, because he's been stuck in these 1vx situations, these clutches time and time again, just super restricted. And he's instrumental that time in shutting down what has been that window to be, has gotten Burger Boys so many rounds, and sets them up for this 6-6 half, so really well done there. Retro was insane. 22
looking at it.
Wait, quick caster math. 15, 19, 23. He has 1 kill away from having the entire of his teammates combined, Keg.
Yeah. You know, I was
keeping his team afloat, and he
there it is. That's the entire team. That's the entire team all combined. Bonnie's making sure that won't quite be the case. It's even now. But okay, Bonnie. Yes, get your 22, Bonnie. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I was thinking in my head last round when Bonnie got the 3K, like, oh yeah, he's got to be up there in the server. I look over at Retro and I'm like, oh my.
I didn't even notice it was that big of a differential either. That is absurd. And while Bonnie, gets the 3K cap off there, a beautiful follow-up again to reinforce Retro, so it's not just the Retro show, it's the entire team getting a really good proactive call in this A main fight. Lucky, I'll say again, just it's a one-off, you do it on your pistol. But it was also a new util, right? Sad just contacted up. They didn't fade Prowler, they didn't do anything. And I think that's contributing to the fact that, again, they don't have as much util in the department, and it isn't a double initiator. But hey, it's Nico. It's
Oh,
do or die.
hello.
Just run it down with a Bucky, why don't you?
Retro was caught completely off guard, and to say he's the playmaker for Burger Boys would be an understatement. The rest of the team falls like dominoes without his presence. It's going to be up to just one. What can Nanners do? Well, at least Jerwin's gone, hopping around like a rabbit.
Spike planted.
Nanners, paranoia, maybe to try and take some ones once that poison cloud drops. Confirms the player in the corner, but the immediate tag out from Shondex to follow it up. Sad, able to convert off of that just explosive B-side entry. Burger Boys just not catching it off. They took the gamble. They're like, hey, they fought really heavy 8-man on the pistol. Let's see if their B-side is weak. And boy, that foundation came a crumbling. To get a second round thrifty in that fashion after Burger Boys had such a substantial pistol is statement, and it's going to make Burger Boys rethink, maybe be a little bit shaken. We'll see if that gets displayed in how they approach this next round, right? Money not on their side anymore. The weapon's actually being bonus minus Jerwin, who's feeling himself, force up the Bucky, bringing out the Phantom. We'll see if it again keeps this sad kind of adrenaline alive.
Smoke deep in mid, though, will make things difficult for Burger Boys to push up. The KO is nursing the angle, hoping to find something, but the Prowler confirms not much of a presence. Retro is forced to back away. He's been discovered. Luckily, he does have his utility to help out there, though. Welly, a wealth of damage applied against them. Not enough to confirm an opening pick, though. Instead, Sad, one by one, have destroyed Burger Boys into this round. It's just classics, though.
I mean, I said the defensive mid fights felt like they favored Sad based on what we saw on Ascend, and I think it was just proven. I'll sprinkle a little grain of salt in there just because it was with suboptimal weapons.
That's what makes things delicious.
Yeah, all in all, really good adjustments, really good just containment out of Sad and Retro. That was a nice shot after, you know, the sheriff to the headhunter, but it's still ultimately a Sad round, and they recovered that Phantom.
Sad taking the lead back once again. Burger Boys, a little too early to go for a timeout just yet, but we are in the final half of this best of three. It has been a long-fought battle for both teams. At this point, Burger Boys, you said they've been a team that does make adaptations, but when they do, they are big, but it can take a while. They have to do it now, Zobi.
Yeah, weapons, rifles in hand. They're still hinging on this mid fight pretty heavily. And Sad just thinks they want Deathball V again. That's what this Waylay's good at, especially with the converging paths in the back pocket.
There it is. Jerwin's already taken some damage, but it's not going to stop him until it finally does. Nanners, a meltdown, a great read. Burger Boys knew exactly where Sad wanted to approach, and it's forcing the remains of their army to tuck away and go back mid.
Yeah, they're waiting for them to fight forward off of that fade util as well. Not going to come. Prowler does confirm a lurk player at minimum. The Spike's on its way to the ace site where you have a whole other challenge to unpack, right? Retro, trademark, playing very tucked away in front of the toxic screen. They're, again, placing their trust in their chambers, which they do. They also understand that if they lose chamber, it's still an advantage situation, a 4v3. But Sad. Looking like they're putting the Burger Boys cosplay on when they overcooked, right? In terms of where they want to go, playing super divided here. And with 40 seconds left, I think they're ending with an A split here as the idea. Val's just trying to get that advantage back, and he might find it.
Absolutely. Just that distraction factor. Keep Bonnie at bay. Val has so little HP left, but again, 30 seconds. And off of that push, there hasn't been much distance made. Nightfall's been called out. Retro's forced to back off directly into the hands of a rendezvous met by Shondex.
Okay, but they're still down players, so Shondex needs to fight forward, or feels like he has to, but only 29 HP.
One enemy remaining.
No!
Oh.
The attempted shrouded step. Bonnie's there for the trade. 2v1, still winnable for Welly, but so little HP left.
And at this point, Bonnie's just baiting for information, right? Waiting for Tilo to get to site so they don't throw this, so they don't give Welly 1v1s, showing them the respect he deserves, but time. There's a haunt for Welly, too.
Timing! Welly does it! 5 HP for the clutch!
And that's a play that deserves a spray, for sure. Celebrate that one. That one is the round that might break the camel's back. I mean, look at the money, sat up to 9. It's feeling very duplicative of how they closed out Ascent, right? It's not a timeout into an eco way to disrupt the momentum, the comeback of Burger Boys, but it is just as damning. I mean, My only copium right now for Burger Boys this round is Bonnie. Bucky, overdrive and a full shield. That shows you his commitment level. Coming in this round to try and win this eco for Burger Boys.
Could be a hard shutdown against the trademark, and Shondex loses that opening fight.
Retro's insane, bro. It's like a guarantee if he's fighting him and he gets one.
But now there's no trademark to stop Bonnie. They'll unleash havoc like you mentioned, Zobi.
Spike down A.
There it is, the overdrive.
Okay, this is good. That's a double. Will it be enough? Bonnie already did their work. Good night, sweet prince. It's Welly again, 7 HP. But the more HP he loses, the stronger he gets. Nanners is from behind, and Welly has the angle, but it's a wide swing from Nanners to deny that fact. Sherwin's the sole survivor now. A spike available in his possession with 1 minute left.
Look at recover a weapon. They're all in main.
It's been discovered.
What's the plan? Oh, he's exposed.
Wow, just the hip. Half HP. Nanners looking to time out that paranoia. Tillo
Player standing.
looking to fight this. It doesn't work. Could this be another clutch for Sad? And a 1v1
He has
with the
time to
odds
go
against
B.
them? There's no way they go B. 30
to
seconds
hightail
left. They
it.
do.
Left.
Wait,
Could they double back? Could they double back? There's
If
so
he
much
goes
utility that
window.
Nanners has. Oh, but it's dedication now. 20 seconds left. It was a 50-50 and Nanners took the gamble. Jerwin falls.
I don't think Nanners was out of audio range, right? He didn't hear the footsteps in Crane. Like, I'm 90% sure. So to be that confident in your call or that trusting in the call of your team saying they're going B, and not only do you not from the shadows to the B site their end goal, because that would give away the game. Like, they know that you're leaving then to head them off. But he gets timing through window because he knows he has to go through there because he doesn't have time to go through all of that CT space. What a clutch denial there on the Sad side. Prevents double digits, upsets the buy. I mean, it really was more of a conversion off of what Bonnie gifted them, that opening off the overdrive.
Oh, there it is. Trademark once again, though. Stall factor actually does not apply to Jerwin.
Just gotta dodge, that's all they wanted to do. Crossover, so they're not playing a close angle. And they're baiting for Tillo. That sprayed out. I don't even know if that was through smoke, but it lines nonetheless.
It is a massacre, Zobi. A-site has become the most chaotic thing I have ever seen in this game. It's anybody's game. Bonnie caught off position. And what's left? It's Nanners and Retro. Retro's got that tour de force set up and ready. Jerwin falls, and now Style tries to go for a trade. Retro saves it. We're back to an even game.
And Retro can see 3 steps ahead, just planning each kill one after another to close that out. But all in all, Burger Boys, whew. They took, again, an insane 1v1 adrenaline. They took, again, that thrifty, that Bonnie invested the overdrive, and are converting that right now as we speak to more and more kinetic energy. Now, if there's one thing that I could see stopping it, it'd be another B death ball off the converging paths, because we've seen how well that works.
There.
But it looks like they're trying to slow things down in my mind. Shondex on a solo lurk, Bao on a solo lurk. Just seeing what they can find here with these players that have a little bit better weaponry.
And Shondex tried to get ahead of the smoke, and Jerwin was the bait. Beautiful. Bonnie has fallen.
Okay. Huge opening kill. In the meantime, they're not going anywhere with it. They're just, again, setting the seeds of doubt, trying to force Burger Boys off position. And all they did was just supplement Posit Practo in that same position. And Jerwin finds another, of course.
Yeah, typical Jerwin things. This is the team that won Ascent off of getting ahead of the defense, taking those timings off of Burger Boys.
Okay. I like this reclear over towards B main. The Prowler, though, doesn't connect on the Bow, doesn't connect on the Style. Haunt, destroyed, at least gives him a clue, and the rotation immediate out of Retro, but it might be too late. The converging pass, then they have to reset this.
Killer, which is barely
Or not.
spotted out, still has that Odin available. It's a meltdown once more. Who can see a dang thing? Certainly not Tillo, but he does not care. Nightfall in return brings out the Prowlers. Gives him enough time to back away, reset himself, and get Retro into position. Odin is gone. A Haunt now available. Retro pushes in. A Seize does not connect. Retro
Teleport's ready.
biding his time and waiting for Bao to make a misstep. He knows there's not many places for them to go, and Bao falls. Retro takes the lead back.
Of course, it's Retro. Of all players to get Burger Boys the lead, beat them to double digits, and yeah, you do your little BM. You deserve it after. I mean, are they bad? They have a 30 bomb, and we're not even to both teams to double digits. Like they have outperformed Jerwin's performance in the SRG match, what he did in 30 rounds in 19, almost half. This man is locked in. He wants that easier matchup against Team Slat over Alliance Guardians tomorrow. And if he has to do it single-handedly for his team, he is going to. Opening kills, closing kills, you name it, he has it. And now they know that he's A-sidling up his trademark. It's just Stat avoiding it. Go for that V-pop I predicted last time off the converging paths. Here it comes.
Oh boy, here we go again. It's always been a slam directly into a site. Now, who can see anything? I don't know. Because there's only 2 left now, Burger Boys. They were looking all nice and dandy, having those double digits now, but a slam once again, sad. Biggest advantage has been, again, playing aggressive into Burger Boys' defense, and it's worked yet again.
Last player standing.
Another fight, another death. 10 to 10.
All right. Whew, I mean, you asked me early, when was it? I think 11-9. You were like, hey, are we going to overtime on Ascent? And I said, we can always go to overtime, but I think the probability when they're this back and forth, this toe-to-toe, is so high on this map. Especially because, like, even the ult economy is just, they invest a few, they charge a few up, right? And it is doing just, it's what's propelling this. So I'm waiting for that team to have that breakthrough moment, and I don't think it's gonna come.
A smoke is out deep mid. Sad
Thing.
looking to slam their way back into B once again, but this is different from last round where it was all 5. This time, though, there is a small band as a distraction factor outside of A. Or that's what I would think, but no, instead, it's the early Jerwin push in B, forcing out a smoke, and now forcing you to A.
Okay. So Sad now being the ones to slow things down just a bit here. Again, it's difficult when they don't have information to go off of. It's just blind faith, blind dives. Meantime, trying to work mids another way to give them optimal information, optimal contact across the map.
There connects.
Silence.
Oh, hello. Oh,
What a shot.
well, out of position, though. A wide swing somehow does not kill Tillo. Eventually, though, Style does get that landing shot. It's A site yet again for the split going inwards. 36 seconds are left, though. Plenty of bodies are left for Burger Boys to make a difference. For Retro again, caught off position. Same can be said for Bonnie. Jerwin on an unstoppable spree. Oh, but Nanners has yet to be discovered.
What a play for
If
info.
Kracto could be that distraction factor, he could activate his null command. Oh, but it's too late for that now. Nanners has already revealed himself.
All right, I have my hands up. I'm confessing. Take me away for calling out that Retro was outdoing Jerwin. In 2 rounds, he has gotten 7 kills. Retro has gotten none. He wants to go toe-to-toe for this MVP title. And he might have just been the one that with that 3K to get things through. And again, it goes back to what I mentioned. He's not just fragging, but he's supplementing this team with extra information when they don't have a double initiator. That was a beautiful dash and refrag just to confirm presence out of Crane and not take the fight. And how many freaking converging paths have we seen? He's 2 off from another keg.
Oh, another. And that's make things very difficult for Burger Boys. Oh, it's just a straight from Nanners. Okay. He's forced to back away. The economy's not in a good spot for Burger Boys whatsoever. It will be a similar spot as we had seen back on Ascent. Can this go to an overtime? That could very well be decided next round. Jerwin does fall, but it's still a 4v4. Oh, wow, making a lot of steps in the process. It has just been a fiesta of frags. There is so much happening at once. Shondex is good for 3 off camera, and Sad is now securing their match placement to be the top seed in promotion relegation going into tomorrow.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, that mid-fight was fancy out of Burger Boys, but again, Sad realizing, hey, if we fight this team head-on, we win. And that's exactly what they just showed. And I mentioned I needed that team to have that breakthrough, and it feels like SAD has done just that. They're going to fight for early B. I expect to get the converging paths online and just go for it. For the time being, though, they actually hand off Spike towards A. Are they going to fake B off the converging paths and end A? That's what I'm foreseeing, but that's also a large leap to make. So I'm curious if that's actually what's going to happen here.
Let's see what they plan on doing, because really at this point, SAD
They
has
are
been
sticking
full in
B.
control of this attacking side. Taking B side, a haunt is out.
Spike down.
No command has been
no.
applied.
Didn't invest enough. Retro's not falling for your fake dash and refract out. They only saw one player and some fade util. And now as soon as they realize, hey, Spike fell over towards A, Bonnie doubles back. SAD catches the rest on the rotation. That's again a great stabilizing element, and they still have a minute to work with.
One bodyguard. Tracto.
Ready.
Scan initiation's not going to be availability at all for Burger Boys. Not only are they at a body disadvantage, they don't have any info gathering.
50 seconds left. Silver lining here is Retro has rotated off the A site. They're entrusting on Bonnie fully here to anchor this site. A dangerous game, especially with that toxic screen still active. A dangerous game with the converging paths active for Derwin as well. And this is your make or break, right? You're getting that energy, like we're one away from that higher seed. Let's end this now.
And this could be the time to do it. Converging path is out now. Bonnie is completely trapped, forced to take the fight, and yes, he does. Twice over. They may have saved the day. 20 seconds are left. A 2v2, even the odds.
Spike planted.
Retro only has an operator to work with.
Last player standing.
We've seen Welly do it with less HP, and he does it again! This crouch angle with low HP is his superpower!
One more. It's Nanners. Full utility. Welly has no HP to work with, and Style is hidden away. The coach may be the one to end this game, and he does! 13-10!
Wow, what a series. After one-sided maps, we end in a close 13-10 where I can undeniably say I think we saw the best of each and every player on both sides. I mean, the Retro to Jerwin head-to-head will go down in history. I literally put Jerwin on the spot coming into the start of this map. I'm like, hey, Jerwin, it's not you. You're not you when you're hungry. And they pulled out, right, just this insane performance on the Waylay. That, you know, we had that energy set in comparison. He's definitely looking like Mata in the server right now.